still playing music? I see you got your sheet music
I
out.
hadn't played in 22 or 3 years, but when I had this darn stroke, I can't control my fingers and stuff. I thought I'd drag some of the stuff out with the old banjo I had. I was getting fairly good on it, but it's so heavy for me now.
Isn't that those banjos are heavy? They're made of like some kind.
Heavy, and I just can't.
They don't have to be that heavy.
I could handle it pretty good then. So about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I don't know. Chris took me to Eugene. I bought a little light one, and I can handle it. But it's now I lost my good book on the banjos that I use, so I wind up playing. I can remember a little bit. Regular like banjo should be played, but I can't transfer it to anything else, so I wind up playing the damn thing like a guitar.
Right.
2 strings at a time and so on, but gotta give my fingers a little bit and whatever.
So you dodged the bullet again with this blood vessel in your pancreas, and then a stroke to boot?
I'll tell you, I had a heart attack. See, I had that in the coffee shop that morning. I'd had one 7 years ago, so I knew the kind of feeling I was in, so I was sure I was going into one, so I told the waitress she better call an ambulance, because I was sure I was starting one. I called one, and I didn't really start it until I actually got in the hospital and on the table. I couldn't have been in a better place.
Yeah.
Then 3 weeks later, I was out and got pretty good from a heart attack. When I was out working in the shop, I had table saw pushed out on the carport, and I started getting real dizzy. And of course, I've been fighting the dizziness for 10, 12 years, but this one was different. So my car was parked right there, and I opened the passenger door, and I sat down on the passenger side, but I knew it wasn't right, and I thought I had to go to the bathroom. I kind of stumbled in here and grabbed the wall both directions, got set down on the pot, and about 3 seconds after I got set down on the pot, I knew I was going to throw up, and I lunged for the sink, and I made it most of the way, and it was like taking a bucket of water. It was so big and dump it out. About 4 times, just big gushes, nothing but blood.
Oh man, that had
big old clots of dark, and then some red blood. I plugged the sink, and I got my hands down in it and raked it around till it would drain, and it was a mess. And it finally quit.
wow.
And I got back into here, and I called 911, and so they got me in. They flew me to Portland. And it was down in the spleen. I don't understand it, but anyway, it was about 4.5 hours operation on me, and they did save the spleen. They thought they would lose the spleen, but they saved it. And anyway, I kind of got over that after a few days in the hospital. Come home. Another 2 weeks, had the damn stroke. That was about 11 o'clock at night. I was just getting ready to go to bed, and I was sitting in that chair, and all of a sudden I had no control, and arms just shaking. So I called Carla. They got me. All of that happened in 7 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
All of that happened.
That's a lot to take. I mean, having that much blood coming in your body, you must have thought you're about ready to check out then and there, huh?
Oh, and when I started throwing the blood up, there was no way. And then when the doctors, there's 4 or 5 of them, and even one of the doctors on the side, they couldn't figure out for sure how the blood got in the stomach. See, there was no pain with it.
Right.
Absolutely no pain.
It's been there a while. But
The doctors are baffled on how can you get that much blood without any real...
Well, they couldn't figure out how it got there and then got into my stomach. I should have just bled out inside. But they figured out about 5 ways was it possible. Anyway, the bottom line on that was there was 15 other people, according to their medical books, that lived through one like that in the whole United States. I was number 16.
Oh.
So if it hadn't bled into your stomach and made you vomit, then you could have
I
literally
would've
died in
never-
your
I
sleep.
would have never known. I was sitting there in the car just so dizzy. It was different.
Right.
You just pretty soon
So
bleed out, and you would just die.
You're right.
And that's the way.
You were lucky it made the stomach, so it kind of gave you a little bit of an alert,
Well, yeah,
like, hey,
it gave me a warning.
Yeah.
You see, but it'd been bleeding for a long time for that dark blood to be there. You see, and just staying in my stomach. It wasn't passing through in the stool where I would see it or anything.
right, oh, okay.
And then the darn, but really what hurt me the worst was the stroke, and the darn thing got both sides. It was the main side was the right side, but about 8 years ago I'd had a slight stroke in the left side. Well, when I had this one this time on the right side, it also got the left side, and they're not sure how that works. I said, all right, if you're not sure that could happen, you can have a mini stroke and not even know you had it. So I might have had two strokes together, or I might have had the other one a day later and didn't even know it, you know. And so I can make it on a flat surface, but I can't walk. Now in a grocery store or something where I can get a cart in front of me, I can make that all right. But to walk outside, I can't do it. So you got my life story, but I'm still.
Well, that's your story of near end of life.
I'm still taking care of myself. I do my own cooking and clothes washing and everything. Carla comes over every couple of weeks and does give me a good cleaning job and everything. And I got my bachelor apartment, as you can see.
Yes, you do.
Your bachelor apartment.
Yeah. And I went out this morning. I tore them things down around the window. I'm getting new windows put in this end of the house. Those thermopane windows, because it's so hard to heat in the wintertime. And then it's kind of hard to cool. I don't heat that back in the bathroom when I take a shower. I just go back and plug in an electric heater for 30 minutes or so and let that in go. So,
Yeah, it's at least you're getting around, and you can go to the store still.
oh yeah, I went to the factory. I went to the grocery store this morning.
Well, that's the only time we would have missed. I'm glad we made it a little bit. But we would have caught up with you. We haven't left town yet.
I want you, when you get done, I want you to read those two things, Kurt. That's a stupid thing.
Okay. I'll read them. Oh, that's the whole family, man.
Yeah.
That's a nice photo.
Well,
Hey, Harley, come here.
that was when I graduated from high school.
Okay,
There.
see this picture right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick out your grandma.
Yeah.
Your
Oh.
mom?
Yep.
Try to
pick
pick her out.
Try to
yeah.
pick her out. I'm just curious.
They used to say
Pick out your grandma.
them two was just like, and Mom was 20 years older than her.
No, that's
Oh, her.
no, that's the grandma.
Her.
That's your grandma.
Oh.
That's your great grandma up here. This is Annie Jean. Okay. That's Jerry. Okay. Remember Jerry and Pam? They stayed with us.
Yeah.
That's Uncle Jerry. And then that's Russell. Look how big Russell is. He's a big kid. Look how big he is compared to everybody else. He was definitely the big brother.
Wait, who's on the left?
That's Grandpa. That's Harley. Okay, this is
okay.
This is Harley Matlock.
Oh, okay.
This is Ruby. This is Uncle Jerry. That's Annie Jean. That's Joanne. Okay, and then that's Uncle Russell. That's the family right there.
Wow.
That's a good photo. I'm going to see if I can get a still of it. Okay, I'm going to stop and do that.